Good afternoon, Tui. Monday again. I hope everybody's all right. Had a good weekend. I mean, one bad. He was cold, but he was all right. They say he's fairly dry out there now. I've had a bit of a busy morning, but we're settling down a bit now. I hope everybody just stay safe and let's just look forward to a Christmas. Just don't listen too much to. I know we got to just don't be complacent. Wear your mask. Do we wash your hands and whatever and whatever. And we've stayed safe all this time, and I don't see no reason why we can't stay safe now. And let's just plan for a bit of Christmas and then look forward to the new year. Now, I got a dear friend of mine. He's 91 years young today, Morris Phillips. Happy birthday to you, boy, and have a lovely day. I hope you're spoiled there. I hope they all spoil you today. All right, now take care of yourself. Now, I'm doing One Year Day by Herbert Lean. This is about the rain and the preacher. It was the worst year weather for years. Father said he never remembered so much rain since the flood. Every house in the place had water gushing in the front door and going out back. Mrs. James had to stay upstairs for 3 days, and as soon as she got down, the water rat man called. The wind was some awful too. And now, said old Lizzie Ann, you would know what I'd have suffered all year round. I heard these some Ellens fell off the new chapel roof, said Feather, and the man that put them up on the roof happened to be there last Sunday. Like as if it should be so, it was right over his seat. The rain was coming down from top of him. I suppose he shifted his seat, said Mother. No, replied Feather. First he put on his hat, and everybody thought he was going out, but he sat down again. Then he got up and put on his overcoat. Next he opened his umbrella, and the organ started playing the hymn, Pull for the Shore. The preacher, who was down from Pempons way, got up to preach and said, now, my dear friends, you can see what awful weather 'tis, and be sorry for poor Noah and his big family. Up jumped Noah Trelaw, who got 9 children, and shouted, lave me out of it. If you can stick it, I can. I don't hold with trying to hold to the weather, said Feather. Every man got any control over he to make a mess of. I know some years ago we had a dry spell. Went on for weeks. Crops was drying out on the ground and people were longing for rain. On the following Sunday they got together and asked the preacher to pray for rain. He did not want to very much. Said he didn't believe he ought to, but they made him. And to do now, before the service was over, it come in black and anted down with rain. Everybody had come up to chapel all dressed up in their light summer dresses. They waited and waited, but it still poured down, wet to the skin they was afore they got home. It never catted for weeks. Tedders was showing above the ground. Everything the people was getting up and had to be put off, and they was afraid the summer would soon be over. So they went to the preacher again and asked him to pray for fine weather. This is what he said. O Lord, I know I asked for rain. 'Tis my fault, but this is ridiculous. And the rain stopped. Well, said Mother, it don't look like stopping now, that poor preacher going out in all this weather. How don't he hitch up the donkey and gus up bringing home for dinner? Off Father started and got up to the chapel just as they were coming out. Come as on, he shouted to the preacher. Down my place, have bit dinner. The preacher got up, but to turn that donkey round to face the rain was another thing. Feather tried everything, but it was no use, and in the end they had to leave him there and walk home. I don't want no dinner, said Richard Henry. You're looking brave and wish, remarked Feather. I know now how I could smell baccy smoke out in the outhouse. Leave the boy alone, said Mother. S'pose you was the same. Yes, I can remember when I promised to take a little shiner to the fair, and to show off I bought a pipe and bit bacca. We had a look at the show, and then she wanted to have a ride on the hobby horses. So we did, and when I got down my head was going round faster than the horses. I was so sick I had to go home, and wasn't she some mad? Never spoke to me again till she got another chap. Next day I was smoking again, and haven't stopped for long since. People say that they can't give up. Oh, 'tis easy enough if you make up your mind. I have given up 5 or 6 times. Come on, said Mother. Dinner is ready. Just take care.